starts right now.
A threat to his life caused him to leave his coaching position with the San Antonio Spurs. What he wants the public to know about his decision.
At just 19 years old, the family of this crash victim says he had a lot more life to live. While they are sharing his story of his life that was taken unexpectedly.
And we're back in Kinney County, seeing the ripple effect of a rising smuggling cases. How leaders say it's draining dollars needed for emergency medical services.
But first on the Nightbeat, a longtime member of the San Antonio Spurs training staff walks away from the team after a scary incident of gun violence.
Athletic development coach Kelly Forbes says he fled to his home country of Canada a day after someone shot his truck while he left the Spurs Northwest Side practice facility.
KSAT Investigates' Dylan Collier spoke with Forbes about the continuing fallout from the close call.
Every time I tell it, it just brings back that emotion, you know.
Kelly Forbes says it was only a matter of time before something bad happened to someone at the intersection of Floyd Curl and Spurs Lane, a curving road and a pair of signs combining to create a partially blind turn. Forbes turned out to be that someone the evening of July 3rd after a near collision escalated within seconds into a crime scene. Forbes was just hundreds of feet from the Spurs facility. As he pulled up to Floyd Curl, his view was obstructed by two large signs. As Forbes pulled out,
these two individuals screeched through the intersection and just missed the front of my truck and came to a standstill at about 20 feet away.
After Forbes told the other driver he was driving really fast, the car's passenger got out with a gun and asked Forbes if he wanted to die.
And I said, no. And I just pressed the gas to start moving forward to get out of there. And a shot was fired. And all I heard was glass breaking and a whip right behind me. And then glass again.
Forbes called San Antonio police and then documented what had just happened to him.
I was just shot at leaving the facility.
The bullet passed just inches behind his head. Forbes said something one of the responding officers told him stuck in his mind.
I felt unsafe at that moment. It's just everything sort of that happens with gun violence in the United States. And what struck me most was what the detective said. And he said to me, this happens 38 to 40 times per week in San Antonio.
Forbes slept at the team facility and booked a flight home to Canada first thing the next day and hasn't been back. Even though he says his agreement with the Spurs went through the end of August, the team allowed him to stay away while he worked through the trauma of the shooting incident. He has since turned down the opportunity to work with a player outside the organization.
Do you think you'll ever come back to the United States?
I don't think so. I feel safer in Canada than I do the U.S. There's a lot of great things about the U.S., the NBA being one of them. But I mean, it's just... It seems like you hear about it every day now, and it's terrible.
For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dylan Collier.
Now, Spurs officials did not respond to emails seeking comment about the shooting incident or Forbes' departure from the team. No one has been arrested, and the case is still active, according to SAPD. Meanwhile, the large for lease sign was removed from the property after KSAT Investigates reached out for comment. The marquee, though, remains in place, but San Antonio Development Services officials are now determining whether it is in a safe location.
Investigators are still looking into a dramatic crash that killed a teenager last Sunday on Highway 90. While they look for answers, the boy's family is grappling with one question. How will they continue without him? The family tells the Night Team's Alyssa Cole he had a bright future.
You could be sad, you could be hurting, and he would find the silver lining in anything.
The family of 19-year-old Brian Negrete is still in disbelief. The teen was driving on Highway 90 last Sunday when his vehicle veered off the road and slammed into a pole, splitting his car in half, ending his life in the process.
If his family wanted to do something, he was going to help us get to that next step. He was our rock. He was the light of our family.
The family tells me after the accident, they came out here to clean up some of the debris from Brian's car and place a memorial here in his remembrance.
He had a lot of plans. He was going to own his own business. He was going to learn to be an electrician.
They say he devoted his time into perfecting his handyman skills and aspired to work at an automaker company.
He was just a beginner driver when it all happened. He just graduated. He wanted to work for Toyota.
An effort to lay him to rest properly, the family is raising money.
For like just family and friends and parents, just don't take your little ones for granted. I have a younger daughter, and I'm gonna take this experience and just love her every single moment of the day, because you're not promised tomorrow.
Now, while the family is taking out the time to grieve this loss, we're told deputies are investigating how this incident happened in the first place. The family tells us it could take months to get an answer. Alyssa Cole, KSAT 12 News.
Thanks, Alyssa. A store security guard recovering tonight after being stabbed by a shoplifter on the west side. San Antonio police were called for a reported cutting around 10 p.m. last night on West Commerce Street near South General McMullen. When they got there, they found the security guard had been stabbed. The guard told police he confronted a man who attempted to steal from the store. The suspect was found nearby with store merchandise and a knife and was arrested.
The Healing Uvalde 21 Portrait Murals project is still underway, and it now has a new mural that has been added. Elizabeth Ortiz painted this Dia de los Muertos altar mural. It's across from Alithia Ramirez's portrait. Ortiz says she painted that mural in just 3 days with help from another artist and some children in the community. She said she wanted this to be a children's mural that honors the 21 victims killed at Rob, as well as Jose Garcia, Irma Garcia's husband, who died just 2 days later. Ortiz says she knows this won't take away the pain of the grieving families, but she hopes it'll help honor their loved ones' memories.
The goal is to not forget them, to keep on honoring them and keeping their memory alive. So, that's really what I hope, that people can stroll down that alley and smile.
Ortiz says several families and friends of victims came by as she was painting, and they were able to add their own touches to that mural. Uvalde's Dia de los Muertos remembrance for the Rob victims will be happening on November 2nd.
A traditional meal served to strengthen and fortify generations of Ukrainian people continue to do so right here in the Alamo City this weekend. European Dumplings Cafe partnered with Ukraine San Antonio to host a 3-day fundraiser serving bowls of borscht for a $5 donation. The traditional Ukrainian soup is prepared with hearty ingredients like chicken, potatoes, beets, and tomatoes. Money raised will provide coats, boots, and blankets for Ukrainian families still in the war-torn country. The cafe co-owner says his wife's connection to Ukraine inspired him to help.
She's from Ukraine, and obviously she has a lot of relatives there still, family, relatives, friends. So even though she's tired of cooking and preparing, she wants to keep doing it to help family down over there.
And at last check, they'd raised $4,000 in donations already. Coming up in the next half hour, we have the latest on the war in Ukraine as Ukrainian troops are able to force Russian fighters to retreat from a key city.
All right, taking a look outside with live cam here this Sunday night. Could not have asked for a better weekend and, of course, first couple of days of October. One of the big differences that we saw out there today, though, especially compared to the first half of the weekend, was some mid to upper level cloud cover that is still streaming across south central Texas as we speak. That actually kept our temperatures this afternoon just a little bit cooler. We got up to 84, 2 degrees below the average for this time of year of 86. Check out that low temperature this morning. Upper 50s officially here in San Antonio, well below the average low of 65. Definitely felt like fall out there to wrap up the weekend's plans. Now, temperatures right now currently sitting in the 60s and 70s across the San Antonio area and surrounding communities. Notice as we take a look down from space at the satellite imagery there, we still do have some of those upper level clouds filtering in from the southwest. And believe it or not, that is actually associated with the tropical system in the far eastern Pacific. We'll have a look at that coming up in just a bit. Plus what we can expect into the upcoming work week, still some comfortable mornings and some warm afternoons. All those details are in just a little bit.
Hurricane Ian was a storm for the record books, and tonight several counties still in recovery mode. The assistance being provided from across the nation and from right here at home. Plus, Light the Night making its first in-person comeback since the start of the COVID pandemic. We speak with a cancer survivor who explains why this event is life-saving.
And we're taking you back to Kinney County tonight on the Nightbeat, this time looking at how the increase in smuggling cases there are causing life or death problems for emergency medical services.
This week, we have shown you how Kinney County Sheriff's Office business owners and landowners are being impacted by an increase in human smuggling. And tonight, we are continuing that coverage.
The county's emergency medical services also feeling the strain. The director tells the night team's Lee Waldman they're in crisis mode.
I got 1,540 square miles that I serve with one station. One ambulance, one crew.
It's a daunting task during a normal year.
Before this whole border issue started, I averaged about 230, 235 calls a year.
Kinney County EMS Director Henry Garcia says this year is anything but.
From January to present, I have 486 calls on the books.
Crews who used to work 48-hour shifts are now on the clock for 72 hours, and Garcia says that's tied directly to human smuggling.
There is a policy or a rule made by Border Patrol. They won't accept anyone that is in custody that has not been medically cleared.
EMS responds to nearly every smuggling call for everything from scratches caused by fences to road rash and serious crashes caused by pursuits.
We're pretty much met our maximum ability with the resources we have. So and I don't see an end to it.
His worst fear, resources being tied up with a human smuggling case with no one available for a medical emergency.
I hate to be responding to road rash on a knee when I'm needed on a major cardiac.
There's a price tag to responding to these calls, one that's not being paid.
I would say over $40,000 of unpaid bills. Nobody takes ownership, and they'll come back as unqualified patient, invalid report.
The issues he's up against are multi-pronged. Garcia is keeping the faith they'll get through it.
At some point in time, this too shall pass.
Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Garcia says county commissioners have given him permission to hire 3 additional EMTs to service the county, but he's having no luck in getting anyone to apply.
Back here at home and new tonight, the Mack Center is now open at Morgan's Wonderland. Today was the grand opening for the Multi-Assistance Center. Visitors got to tour the new 165,000 square foot facility. It aims to be a one-stop shop to help improve the lives of individuals with disabilities and special needs. The Mack Center will offer health care services like vision, hearing, and dental. They also have community support services like transportation access, education, and job training.
And what beautiful weather they had to go see that facility today.
Beautiful weather to do anything.
To do anything, yeah.
Absolutely. All of those weekend plans were accompanied by fantastic fall-like weather out there this weekend, really starting off with this morning for our Sunday. Take a look at that morning low here in San Antonio over at the airport, officially 58 degrees. That actually is the coolest morning that we've recorded here in town since late April. And it got even cooler the farther north as well as west that you went across portions of the hill country. Long sleeve weather for sure early this morning. Fredericksburg reaching down to Kerrville woke up to temperatures in the upper 40s. It was 55 this morning out in Hondo, just a degree warmer in Uvalde, 56 as well in Pleasanton. Gonzales woke up to temperatures in the mid 50s as well. Again, we did find filtered sunshine out there this afternoon. We had some high level clouds move in associated with what is Hurricane Orlene, currently churning over the eastern Pacific late this Sunday night. Temperatures were able to climb into the low to mid 80s for most to wrap up the weekend's plans. Now we are seeing those temperatures fall into the 60s and 70s, 65 in Kerrville, 72 out in Del Rio, and 76 out in Cotulla. So we still do have that high level cloud cover streaming in from the south as well as the west. That stretches all the way across Mexico, over 700 miles away from the center of what is Hurricane Orlene. This is the latest information that came in as of the top of the hour from the National Hurricane Center. Those winds sustained at about 105 miles per hour, gusting upwards of 125. Currently, it is a Category 2 storm as it approaches the western coastline of Mexico there. It is expected to make landfall in that region tomorrow, but then it is quickly torn apart thanks to the elevated mountainous terrain out there in that region as well. So we're not going to find any big impacts from that storm, but thanks to the upper level winds in the atmosphere, some of that elevated moisture is still going to be pulled farther up to the north and the east over the next couple of days. So really, that mid to upper level cloud cover will stick with us, especially as we head into the first half of the upcoming work week. But down here at the surface, we still do have those dry conditions, maybe a slight uptick in some of those humidity values as we head into the second half of the week. But because we are still expecting that dry air to stick with us here at the ground, temperatures will still feel plenty fall-like over the next few mornings, very comfortable. Tomorrow we wake up in the 50s and low 60s yet again, and then we see those temperatures transition to the 80s for most into our Monday afternoon. So here's your KSAT 12-hour forecast throughout the first day of the work week, upper 70s. As we head into the late morning hours, that transitions to the low 80s into the early afternoon. A forecast high here in San Antonio around 85 as we continue to see those clouds float across the area. And unfortunately, wish we had better news in the rainfall department, because it is no secret that we definitely could use more. We are expected to stay dry for the vast majority of the upcoming work week. We only have very isolated chances for a stray shower or two as we gear up for the weekend, really by Friday into Saturday and Sunday as well. Of course, we will continue to keep eyes on that and hope for a pattern change as well. So here are those morning lows as we head into the upcoming work week. Those trend a little bit closer to the average for this time of year, especially by Thursday and into Friday. Still plenty comfortable though, stepping outside in the mornings. Those afternoon highs look to trend closer to about 90 as we head into the Thursday time frame, and then back down into the 80s as we gear up for the upcoming weekend. So it is still going to be plenty pleasant and fall-like out there as you are stepping out for the morning commute into this week. Those temperatures in the afternoon still plenty warm. Of course, we'll keep eyes on those isolated chances for rain by this weekend. Hopefully we can maybe nudge those up just a little bit, because we definitely do need it.
Fall South Texas style continues.
Exactly.
All right, learning to drive and avoid crashes can be scary, specifically for teenagers. A free driving program aims to eliminate those fears and teach teens the skills in a fun way. Replacing fear with fun when it comes to driving. Car crashes are a leading cause of death for novice teen drivers, and teens are twice as likely as adult drivers to be in a fatal crash. Comfort behind the wheel is key, and the Ford Driving Skills for Life program is offering that across the country for free. The hands-on training features 4 rotations, including the one you're seeing here, one that teaches vehicle handling by putting teens behind the wheel of a Ford Mustang equipped with skid plates, so they experience spinning out and learn how to control a vehicle if that happens in real life. The award-winning program pairs newly licensed and teen drivers with professional instructors for hands-on driving clinics. This weekend, more than 300 participants got to train with the pros.
This program really helps just kids understand the importance and respect of a car while doing it in a fun way, because we like to believe that fun is a great channel to learning.
While the program focuses on teens, young adults can join if they haven't driven in a while or they're getting their license later in life. The program partners with the Governor's Highway Safety Association and the Texas Department of Transportation.
Some experienced drivers could use that training too. Cooper Rush becomes the first Cowboys quarterback to win his first 4 starts and to top it off, beat their NFC East rivals in the Washington Commanders. With more on that, let's check in with our Greg Simmons for a preview of Instant Replay.
And did they think by dressing like the Pittsburgh Steelers they'd fool them? I didn't get that at all. And the Houston Texans are still looking for their first win of the season. Coming up tonight on a brand new edition of Instant Replay.
Rush looking, throwing, end zone, it's caught by Gallup. Touchdown, Dallas.
Cooper Rush is a superstar again today, and Michael Gallup returns and gets a touchdown in his first game back from off-season surgery. Our Larry Ramirez was there. Take you inside the Cowboys' winning locker room.
Back to Eckler. Can he get him their first rushing touchdown of the season? Yes, he can.
The Houston Texans got buried in the first half by the LA Chargers, but made a great effort at a comeback in the second half, only to fall short. We'll show you what happened.
30% from the floor early on. There's Purtle with a steal and an intended pass down low underneath, going up. Will be Vasil.
And the very young San Antonio Spurs made their 2022 preseason debut, and they travel to Houston to take on the Rockets tonight. And San Antonio FC clinches home field advantage throughout the United Soccer League playoffs with a huge win. All that plus, what is the biggest problem facing the Aggies this season? Tonight, you decide. Instant Replay is live, and it's after the Nightbeat. A little grumbling going on among the Aggie faithful.
You want people to pick just one problem?
Just one. You only get one choice tonight.
Okay. All right, Greg, we'll see you again in a little bit.
Sure.
A plane scheduled to land in Dallas makes an emergency landing in Albuquerque. Why the FBI had to sweep that plane once it landed.
And we continue our coverage of what some are calling the worst disaster to happen in a stadium. The latest on the hundreds of casualties in Indonesia and how people are honoring those victims.
And it's going to be a long road to recovery for those counties in Florida hit by Ian. The search and rescue effort still happening tonight, and how President Biden plans to help out. Let's get you to the latest now out of southwestern Florida, where search and rescue efforts are still underway tonight after Hurricane Ian left a path of destruction.
Yeah, at least 83 people have been confirmed dead in several states, and that number will likely rise. President Biden will travel to the disaster zone in Florida on Wednesday as that cleanup continues.
ABC's Rena Roy has the latest from Naples.
As the devastation from Hurricane Ian comes into focus, there are also stories of hope and survival. More than 2,300 people rescued since the storm hit, with even more being saved around the clock. Helicopter crews helping residents and pets stuck on roofs. This group of trauma nurses and retired military joining the efforts on hard-hit Pine Island, where you can see the causeway washed out.
If you have a human heart and a soul in you, you're just looking out for one another.
Joe Conforti rode the storm out on the island and survived 10 feet of water in his home.
The water just kept pounding the house, and we watched boats, houses, we watched everything just go flying by. We've lost so much at this point, so we appreciate you guys being here.
Meanwhile, officials in Lee County under fire for issuing an evacuation order Tuesday instead of Monday, like some other nearby counties. At least 42 people were killed there, the highest death toll in the state. Authorities defending their decision.
I stand 100% with my county commissioners, my county manager. We did what we had to do at the exact same time. I wouldn't have changed anything. And I know, being in those meetings from the very minute, this storm was very unpredictable.
President Biden will be visiting on Wednesday to tour the destruction himself. His administration has promised to help however possible when it comes to rebuilding, recovery, and rescues. Rena Roy, ABC News, Naples, Florida.
And we first told you about this last night, but today we got to be there when the San Antonio Zoo staff took off to assist parts of Florida in their recovery efforts. It's all part of the zoological disaster response, rescue, and recovery. The zoo is sending an electrician, welder, and volunteers to help clear debris. The San Antonio Zoo first sent their support units to assist Houston's downtown aquarium and Texas Zoo in Victoria during Hurricane Harvey.
And then once we did that, the zoo industry as a whole kind of recognized the need for recovery and responses, because there's been other situations with other zoos and facilities around the United States.
The San Antonio Zoo says they are now one of the largest and most experienced deployment units, serving most recently in Louisiana following Hurricane Laura, which hit as a Category 4 hurricane in 2020.
Now to the war in Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin illegally annexing about 15% of Ukraine's territory last week, a move some are calling desperate. Meanwhile, Ukrainian forces appear to have another significant victory as Russian troops abandoned a key city in the east. Here's ABC's Elwin Lopez with the latest. All right, we're having some problem with the audio on that story, so we'll move on. A cleanup operation was underway at a soccer stadium in Indonesia following a fatal stampede there. At least authorities say 125 people have died so far, more than 320 people injured after police used tear gas. Indonesian officials call it one of the worst stadium disasters in the world. Today, mourners gathered outside the gates of the stadium to lay flowers for the victims, and later in the evening, people held a candlelight vigil.
Well, the FBI is investigating a security threat on a plane that caused an emergency landing in Albuquerque, New Mexico. When American Airlines Flight 928 landed, one man was taken into custody. All the passengers were interviewed by FBI agents and their bags were checked. That flight originated in Dallas.
All right, we're going to take another look outside with live cam here tonight. Temperatures currently in the 70s in San Antonio. We do have some 60s out there as well, especially up in the hill country. Biggest difference that we saw out there today compared to yesterday was those high clouds that were filtering through. Made for a beautiful sunrise out there this morning. Had all of that filtering across south central Texas this afternoon. Highs are able to climb into the low to mid 80s for most. 84 here in San Antonio, 86 out in Hondo, 81 up in Rock Springs, and 83 in Del Rio. Now, similar conditions in store as we head into the first day of the upcoming work week. It still will be plenty fall-like first thing tomorrow morning. 50s and low 60s transitioning to the 80s yet again as we head into the afternoon. So really, those mid and upper level clouds will stick with us over the next couple of days. Still some fall-like mornings as well as some warm afternoons. We'll have another full look at that forecast and what to expect this week coming up in a bit.
Thank you, Mia. Well, it's that time of year again where animals get their annual blessings. What keeps pet owners coming back every year?
And blood cancers can be hard to catch. That's why early diagnosis is key. How events like Light the Night make that a priority. The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's Light the Night event is back and in person for the first time since 2019. It raises funds and awareness for blood cancers.
Our John Paul Barajas sat down with an LLS organizer and a cancer survivor to talk about how the event brings light to the darkness of cancer.
It was almost like being hit by an 800-pound gorilla and feeling like, your life is over.
It's a common thought after being diagnosed with a form of blood cancer. Gregory Proctor is living proof that it shouldn't be. And the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, or LLS, is working to find a cure, but every second counts.
Every 3 minutes, somebody is diagnosed. Every 9 minutes, somebody's losing their life to blood cancer. So we're really trying to move the needle.
Their main goals are to assist in patient support and education, as well as research. Their annual Light the Night event is a major part of that. Thousands of people gather to walk a mile holding lanterns to illuminate hope, remember, honor, and support those affected by blood cancer. Each lantern has a different meaning. Red is for those showing support, yellow is for those walking in memory of a loved one who's passed, and white is for the survivors. LLS expects to raise well over $1 million this year and anticipates 5,000 people here at Hemisphere for Light the Night, Saturday, October 8th.
I'm feeling a lot better than I did a year ago, but it wouldn't have been for LLS. I assure you, I probably wouldn't be here today.
LLS tells us, unfortunately, there is no early detection for blood cancer. They say people have to listen to their body, and if something doesn't feel right, don't ignore it. As for those who are currently fighting, Proctor has a message.
If you believe that there's hope, then you will overcome whatever disease there is.
John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
And KSAT is inviting you to spread some of that hope with us at Light the Night event at Hemisphere Park, October 8th at 6 p.m. If you scan this QR code on your screen, it'll take you to the donations and registration page.
Coming up, the annual blessing of the animals at St. Mark's Episcopal Church returned today. See how the new tradition that was added that they plan to keep bringing back.
Well, more and more people are going green, even down to their cleaning products. But are those products as green as they claim to be? 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz cuts through the hype and shows us what to look for on the labels.
The cleaning products aisle is packed with green cleaners. But what does saying a product is green even mean? Not much, according to Consumer Reports. Same goes for words like natural, plant-based, non-toxic, and eco-friendly.
These are really just marketing terms to make a product seem more appealing. It's sometimes called greenwashing, a gimmick meant to attract consumers who prefer to buy products from environmentally conscious brands.
Still, many people want to make eco-friendly choices. So start by thinking, what part of green is most important to you? Do you want plant-based or biodegradable products? Then look specifically for that. Eco-friendly products may use less plastic in their packaging, but that doesn't mean they're free from harmful chemicals.
Another important thing to know is that just because a product is natural or plant-based doesn't mean it's safe. It could even be toxic. That's something you want to be aware of, especially if you have kids around.
So how do you choose? Consumer Reports says look for one of these seals of approval from independent groups that check the claims. This seal from UL means a product has lower environmental impact than similar products, like energy and water use. To be EWG verified, products can't include certain ingredients that are potentially harmful. Same goes when you see the EPA's Safer Choice logo. You can even search their website to see if your favorite cleaner got their approval. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Some animals throughout the San Antonio community now have their annual blessings. This just one of many blessing events that you'll see this week. This time it happened at St. Mark's Episcopal Church today. It's in honor of St. Francis, who had a great care for the creation of animals. Members of the church were able to bring whatever pet they care about to get blessed.
I think we all think of our pets as part of our family, and so especially if you're active in a church community, you want everyone to know the fullness of your family, and so it's just a way to include those furry members and also have a chance to give thanks for what they bring to our lives.
Pets are family too. Something new this year, the event had both in-person and drive-through blessings. The Reverend says the drive-through option is great for those who have pets that are not interested in meeting other pets or who maybe just don't get along with other pets.
Well, dog walking just got a lot more fun.
It did.
It did. You don't have
a lot
to
less
be
sweaty.
You don't have to be as sweaty.
It's not as oppressive when you step out the front door. Yes, this weekend was fantastic for more of that fall-like weather to kick off the month of October. Yesterday, not a cloud in the sky, plenty of blue skies. Today, a slightly different story, but those cirrus clouds moving through made for a beautiful sunrise and a sunset. You can see our friend here, Marcelo, sent in this photo to our KSAT Connect. It was really just beautiful out there, and it felt really good too. Yes, for any of those dog walks that you may have taken part in earlier this evening. Temperatures right now currently sitting in the 70s here in San Antonio, 74 officially over at the airport. A very calm wind on hand, a dew point in the upper 40s, so it is still plenty dry out there. That humidity not as oppressive late this Sunday night. 61 near the Bernie stage area, 64 in Comfort, upper 60s out in Hondo, stretching westward down Highway 90 to Uvalde, 73 currently in Converse. So yes, we are still going to hold on to those mid and upper level clouds streaming in from the southwest through the overnight hours. That also is in place as we head into the first day of the upcoming work week for your Monday. Temperatures still cool out there, even chillier the farther north you go up into the hill country, waking up in the 50s and low 60s, transitioning to the upper 70s and low 80s by the lunchtime hour. I think with those clouds in place, those daytime highs closer to the mid 80s as we head into the second half of the day with an east wind on hand at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Really more of the same, so to speak, as we head even even more further into the upcoming work week. You can see those morning lows start to climb a little bit closer to the average of 65 for this time of year by Wednesday into Thursday and Friday as well. Those temperatures in the afternoon just a little bit warmer in the upper 80s, approaching 90. And again, we really will stay dry for the most part this week before we introduce just very isolated chances for rain here in San Antonio as we gear up for the upcoming weekend. It is no secret that we definitely could use it. Year to date, as of October 2nd, when you tally up what we've seen officially over at the airport so far, only 8.2 inches of rain, well below the average of where we should be for this time of year, just over 24 3/4 of an inch. So 2022 is in the lead for the driest year to date that we have seen here on record. Now, May as well as September, typically two of our wettest months climatologically in a given year. We came well below the average each of those months. We'll see what we can find here into this month of October, but because of the lack of rainfall, we do still have drought conditions in place across the vast majority of our region. This is the latest update that was released last Thursday. You can see these reds, that extreme to even exceptional drought in place near Bexar County, stretching up I-35 farther up to the north as well. As we look across portions of the hill country, reaching down to the Rio Grande Plains, we also just have some moderate to even severe drought in place. So we will continue to keep eyes on that and of course hope for a shift in our weather pattern over the next few weeks. Still some rain falling across portions of the mid-Atlantic late tonight from the remnants of what was Hurricane Ian. There's Orlean that is still making its way closer to the western coast of Mexico here tonight. Again, the only small impacts that we see from that are those high clouds that continue over the next couple of days. A couple of waves out in the Atlantic. No big issues for us right now. We'll continue to keep eyes on that. Until then, we're just hoping for a little bit more rain, but at least those mornings will still be comfortable this week as well.
We will enjoy them. Thank you.
All right, it was rom-com versus horror in a box office showdown in new movies this weekend. Which film came out on top? I vote for rom-com, but that's no surprise.
Oh, I'm going for the scary.
Yeah, shocking.
The re-release of Avatar fell to 5th place in its second weekend, grossing $4.7 million. Despite strong reviews, the gay rom-com Bros debuted in 4th place with just $4.8 million. Viola Davis and The Woman King took 3rd place with $7 million.
I have it. Focus, right here.
Don't Worry, Darling lost the top spot. $7.3 million put the dramatic thriller in 2nd place in its sophomore weekend. Smile had plenty to smile about. The horror flick dominated in its debut weekend, earning $22 million, more than the film cost to make. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Nope. Stop it!
San Antonio FC celebrates an historic victory last night that clinches home field advantage throughout the USL playoffs, and they earned the USL's point shield for the first time in franchise history.
I'm going to take a deep breath. And who had the best fans, the best pass, and the best run? Find out tonight in the best of big game coverage. Of course, let's head to Greg Simmons. Greg, he didn't give you that creepy smile.
No, I tell you what, there's many scary scenes in many movies that I avoid at all costs. And some brand new teams make their way to 12's Top 12, the Sub 5A poll as well, coming up tonight on a brand new edition of Instant Replay. What a celebration inside the locker room of San Antonio FC last night following their 1-0 victory over the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Victory gives San Antonio FC home field advantage throughout the entire United Soccer League playoffs. But there's also another milestone that was reached last night. We'll tell you what that is. And who had the best fans, the best pass, and for that matter, the best run? Find out tonight. The best of big game coverage and some new teams making the final count in 12's Top 12 and our Sub-5A poll as well tonight. All that plus our Larry Ramirez, who's just back with all his interviews inside the Cowboys' winning locker room today. And after Cooper Rush became the first Dallas quarterback to win his first 4 starts, would you consider benching Dak Prescott if he stumbles in his return to the field? Tonight, the sports guys debate that and more. Instant Replay is live. And it's next. Just throwing that out there for the heck of it.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
An instant replay.
No.
All right, thanks, Greg.
Then I'll watch. We'll be right back.
My creepy smile took up too much time. We don't have anything good to tell you tonight, so that's all of our time.
The good news is that I can go home and you won't be smiling like that anymore. Okay, tune in to Good Morning San Antonio for all your latest overnight news.
An all-new instant replay starts right now.
Is it on? Is it on? How about them Cowboys, baby? Hey, we gonna get this dub. Rush gonna do his thing. Dak who? We don't need Dak right now. We need Rush.
We came to slay, and this probably gonna be the only game we win, but it's the Super Bowl.
Washington Commandos. Y'all don't call. They don't command nothing here.
And what's that, February or January? We're gonna sit right next to you and talk about what we gonna do next year.
Super Bowl Cowboys. I don't know what you came to do.
About fantasy football. We talking about.
You get on back there. Get.
We them boys. Yes, sir. We them boys.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a brand new edition of Instant Replay. The 2 biggest questions going into today's rivalry matchup against the Washington Commanders is, could Cooper Rush stay undefeated as the Cowboys starting quarterback, and would Michael Gallup play his first game of the season for Dallas after having off-season surgery to repair his torn anterior cruciate ligament on game day?
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
The last question was answered right away as Michael Gallup was in the starting lineup at AT&T Stadium when the Dallas Cowboys hosted their NFC East rivals, the Washington Commanders. Let's take you right to the second quarter. 6-0 Cowboys. Commanders finished this drive with Carson Wentz connecting with Jahan Dotson in the end zone with a 10-yard touchdown, and it's 7-6 Commanders. Less than 2 minutes to play in the half. Cooper Rush finds Michael Gallup for his first touchdown of the season. The extra point is blocked, and the Cowboys lead 12-7 at the half. Good to see him back. Fourth quarter now, 15-10 Cowboys, and Rush finds C.D. Lamb wide open on this 30-yard touchdown. Cowboys take the lead 22-10 now. Time for Trayvon Diggs' show. 4th down for Washington. Diggs knocks the ball away in the end zone, keeps Washington from scoring. Next Commanders drive. Wentz had already had an interception, throws, but it is picked off by Deron Bland. Brett Maher would add a 29-yard field goal. Cowboys lead 25-10. Maher had 4 field goals today. Next Commanders drive, 4th and 2 when Wentz throws, but Diggs is there to make the big play again. Cowboys take over. Cooper Rush now becomes the first Cowboys starting quarterback ever to win his first 4 games. Here is your final score. The Cowboys take it 25-10 with more on the Cowboys' 3rd straight win of the season. Here's our Larry Ramirez, who is in Arlington today. Hey, Larry.
Hey, Greg. Thank you very much. So Cooper Rush, as you just said, is still undefeated as a starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. He's 3-0 this season, 4-0 for his career. Now, he was pretty solid today, but Rush gave all the credit to the boys' defense for leading the charge today against Washington.
Yeah, they're the reason we're winning. I mean, it's just plain and simple. Those guys, 10 points in the NFL is pretty impressive. And we gave them, they had really good field position all day. And our defense just kept them out of the end zone, kept getting off the field. As an offense, knowing that they have your back like that, it's huge. It's one of their messages is we have everyone's back, and they walk the walk.
He's doing his job, right? He comes in for Dak. These are important games to win, to hold off till 4 gets back. So I can't talk enough how well Cooper's done and how well he's. You can see his confidence growing and just everyone's confidence around him growing. So.
Rush is the 27th quarterback in NFL history to win his first 4 starts. Coming up later in the show, Michael Gallup now has a key souvenir thanks to Ezekiel Elliott. Greg, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Larry. Cowboys notes here for you. Now, the Cowboys only given up 4 touchdowns in their first 4 games this season. 3rd time that has happened in franchise history. The first time since 1973 that the Cowboys held their first 4 opponents to 19 points or less. Next up, they'll take a crack at the defending Super Bowl champions, the Rams, in Los Angeles SoFi Stadium Sunday at 3:25. Texans looking to get their first win of the season at home, facing the 1-2 LA Chargers. Los Angeles built a big lead early. Chargers are up 21-0 in the second quarter when Dameon Pierce breaks off a 75-yard touchdown run to put Houston on the board, and it's 21-7 Chargers. LA would take the lead 27-7 at the half. In the third quarter, Davis Mills finds Rex Burkhead for the 8-yard touchdown. It's 27-14 Chargers after 3. Fourth quarter, Mills finds Brandon Cooks for an 18-yard touchdown. The Chargers lead is only down to 6. Texans would cut it down to 3 points, but the Chargers slam the door shut. Herbert finds Austin Eckler for the second touchdown connection of the day. Texans lose again. Here's your final. It is 34-24 Chargers. Houston falls to 0-3-1. Quarterback Davis Mills knows the Texans have to start faster.
We can't turn it on and turn it off when we want to. When we need to go down and score like we did at the start of the second half, we got to do that the whole game. Continue to find ways to get the ball to the guys out in space and let them make plays.
All right, next up, road trip to Jacksonville Sunday at noon. Jaguars and 3-0. Eagles, Phillies run here game doing the work. They are 210 yards rushing, 4 rushing touchdowns, 3 of them in the second quarter alone. Eagles win 29-10. They're undefeated. Bears and Giants. New York quarterback Daniel Jones only had 71 yards passing, but 68 yards rushing and 2 touchdown runs. Giants win 20-12, improved to 3-1, and that's right. The Eagles are 4-0. The Cowboys and the Giants are 3-1 in the NFC East. Bills at Ravens. Baltimore was up 20-3 in the second quarter before the Bills came back. Josh Allen scores here from 11 yards out to tie the game at 20. Then Tyler Bass from 21 yards out as time expires. Bills win 23-20. Patriots at Packers. Fourth quarter, Green Bay down 7 when Aaron Rodgers finds Romeo Doubs for the 13-yard touchdown, and we are tied at 13. This game would go to overtime. That's where Mason Crosby would make a 31-yard field goal. On the very last play of overtime, the Pack win at 27-24. Vikings at Saints in London this morning. 2 seconds left, 28-25 Vikings. Will Lutz attempts a 61-yard field goal to tie the game, but the ball bounces off the upright, then the crossbar, and then out. No good. Vikings hang on to win that 28-25. The Saints are now 1-3. Browns at Falcons. Atlanta had 2 rushing touchdowns this afternoon. Kicker Young-Ho Koo added 3 field goals, including a 45-yarder. That was a difference. Falcons win 23-20. Both teams are 2-2. Seahawks at Lions. UTSA's Tariq Woolen is going to get this pick 6 from Jared Goff throw. The interception for the touchdown made it 31-15 Seattle. The San Antonio connections are not done. John Jay alum Josh Reynolds had a 3-yard touchdown reception in the fourth quarter that cut the lead down to 7, but in the end, Seattle wins a close one, 48-45. Titans and Colts. Tennessee did all their scoring in the first half. Ryan Tannehill had 2 touchdown passes. Derrick Henry at 114 yards rushing, another touchdown. Titans win at 24-17. Jets and Steelers, fourth quarter. Steelers by 3 with under 30 to play when Breece Hall goes in from 2 yards out, breaks the plane at the goal line. It's a touchdown. That's the difference on this one. Jets come back to win at 24-20. Cardinals and Panthers. Kyler Murray came to play. 270 yards. 207 yards passing, 2 touchdowns passing, another rushing touchdown. The Cardinals win 26-16. Broncos at Raiders, big day for Josh Jacobs. He had 28 carries, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns, including the 7-yard score to secure the win of the full quarter. Las Vegas wins their first game 32-23. The local connections to the NFL look like this. Right out of the gate is Marcus Davenport for the Saints out of Stevens, 1 tackle, a half sack, 2 quarterback hits. Steelers DeMarvin Leal out of Justin, 4 tackles, 2 solo, 1 tackle for a loss. Seahawks Tariq Woolen out of UTSA, 5 tackles, 4 solo, 1 pass defense, 1 touchdown. The Lions, Josh Reynolds, John Jay, of course, 7 receptions, 81 yards, 1 touchdown. The Titans, Kevin Strong, UTSA, 2 tackles, 1 solo. The Broncos, Caden Stearns out of Steele, 6 tackles, 5 solo. And the Raiders, Trayvon Mayrig out of Smithson Valley, 4 tackles and 2 solo. Time now for the 9th Century Replay poll question. What is the biggest problem facing the Aggies this season? A, no solid starting quarterback. B, Jimbo Fisher play calling. C, porous defense. Vote now. We'll have the results at the end of the broadcast tonight. Up next, it's Spurs Game Day.
And Trey Jones takes away a pass intended for Jabari Smith. Jones going to go up. He's fouled from behind. He's got an and 1 coming up.
And how will the Spurs do in their first preseason game against the Houston Rockets? We've got the highlights. What is going on with the maroon and white after the Aggies get destroyed by Mississippi State? The sports guys decide. We'll also bring you the best of big game coverage, new additions to 12's Top 12, and more from the Cowboys against the Commanders. When Instant Replay continues live next.